Good morning. I don't even worry about what day it is because it's not Sunday. I know that.
It's someday.
It's someday. And I'm over here at one of our great neighbors, Stu and Wendy Boyson. They live on Sprucewood Drive. A lot of people from the church call this their home.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
we're thinking of making it a regulation.
Well, you know, actually, there's 3 families that live here who used to go to the church, and I kind of scared them away. So
No.
maybe we should do a video with all of them.
Yes, absolutely.
So how you guys doing?
We're holding up really well, thank you.
And what are you doing to take care of yourselves?
We walk every day.
I do see you walking at least once a day.
Walking, and we get to see all the people around here because we miss everybody at church and everything like that. But that is fun to walk.
Yeah,
And makes
we
it
probably do 2 miles a day, most days.
Yep. And I know you have a backyard guest.
Oh,
Well, we wanted to tell you about the backyard guest because we filled it up with bird seed again because we have a deer that thinks it's deer seed. And it's a mama deer that comes with her little baby.
Just one little
We've
fawn?
only seen the one little
Okay,
one.
because there's another deer in the neighborhood that has 2 little fawns.
really?
Yes.
Oh, we
Oh,
haven't
I haven't
seen
seen
two.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we
Oh.
love seeing it. We filled it up last night and got up this morning and it was empty again. So we filled it hoping maybe they would come while you were here, but I don't know if
Oh, that would be neat if that happened. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we love watching that. Absolutely, we love watching that.
And we
So
keep
that's
taking videos and photos and stuff like that. They
So-
even like Wonder Bread.
I bet they do like Wonder
Yeah.
Bread.
really, if Stu throws it to them, yes.
Stu, where did you grow up?
Most of my growing up was...
Well, I know you're not actually.
I haven't grown
Yes,
up
yes,
yet.
yes.
I know. Most of my younger years were spent in Rochester, New York.
Okay. How about you, Wendy?
I was on Long Island, New York, in Garden City.
And you met at college?
We did.
And you went to where?
Alfred University.
Alfred. Yes.
Yeah.
And that's in New York or
Alfred, New York,
Alfred,
yeah.
New
Yeah.
York?
Middle of nowhere.
Stu, what was your major?
Ceramic science.
Which is what?
I don't recall because I didn't use it much. Ceramics is the study of any material that is non-organic and non-metallic. And I really specialized in the field of glass.
Oh, okay.
So I went to work for a glass manufacturing company in Toledo, Ohio.
Oh. And Wendy, what did you study?
I studied nursing.
Okay. And where along did you meet each other, and how did that happen?
Go ahead, how did we meet?
It was a blind date. I was a senior, she was a freshman, and her former paperboy,
Paperboy on Long Island went to Alfred also.
Ah.
he was a fraternity brother of mine. And he said, oh, I'll fix you up with this wonderful young lady.
I didn't
And
know
I said,
that well.
fine, whatever. So it happened to be on freshman parents weekend.
Ah.
So not only did I date her, but I dated her parents and her 15-year-old
My
brother.
15-year-old
Wow.
brother at a fraternity house.
We all went up to the fraternity, and I never saw her parents or her brother. He was drinking beer at 15. having a
my
wonderful
father.
time.
Of course, back in the day, it was 18, probably.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah, it was 18 then, and we were in a different room dancing stuff.
Ah. And how long did you date, and when did you get married?
Got married in
1968.
1968. We just
June.
celebrated our 52nd anniversary.
Wow.
And we got married on Long Island in Garden City. And I was a member of the community church
Ah.
there. And so that's how I got used to a community church. So that was interesting.
So did you get married before or after you moved to Toledo?
Oh, before. We were married in school, in college. In fact, we were married before she started her senior year.
Okay.
And the deal was that she had to finish. And so I promised. And
And I did.
so we lived off campus in a run-down shack of a house.
So what did you do for the couple years after you graduated until she was a senior?
Well, I just kind of hung around and decided to get a couple other degrees. Just
Oh,
waiting around.
That's right. You are Dr. Boyson, aren't you?
I am. And-
Yes.
And,
I got this cough. Maybe you can look at it a little bit later.
Yeah. But I was only involved in ceramics for probably 5-6 years after I graduated
Okay.
in Toledo at Libby Owens Ford,
Yes,
which
Toledo.
no longer exists as a company. And then her father decided that he wanted to bring his computing services that he was paying for in-house, so he asked me to come and put in a computer system in the publishing business that he owned. So
And that was back in Long Island?
So we
That was
went
back
back to
on Long
Garden
Island.
City, where I graduated from, and whatever. And it was amazing because we bought a house, and across the street was a church, but it was a Presbyterian church. But it was so much easier to get to,
Oh,
especially
sure.
once we had children, you know, than getting in the car and getting over to the other one. So that was very busy. So we got very involved in that because also directly across the street from us is where the pastor and his wife lived. So we got to know a few pastors, and it was absolutely wonderful, and we loved being in the church and doing all different kinds of things. So
And were those pastors as unhandy and unmechanical as I am?
yes,
I think they didn't have stuff like this back then.
Yeah, but you know, when we were renovating our house, I would call Stu up and I would say, "Can you help me?" And then finally I got embarrassed. I said, I'll just watch. But I appreciate all your work.
Then you had Cindy call.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Usually Cindy did call.
Yeah, so no, it was
Happy to
absolutely
do that.
wonderful. Yeah.
And Wendy, at some point along the line, you went to seminary.
Yes, I did go to seminary.
Where did you go?
Graduated from seminary, New Brunswick Theological Seminary
Which is,
in New Jersey.
Part
Okay.
of Rutgers.
Yeah, that was, you know, a long time, but I did graduate from there.
and back early on in my tenure, you filled in at least once or twice for me at the Gilford Community
I
Church.
did, but I just haven't pursued it.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm happy to help around. I love being at the church and doing different things and being on Care and Concern and helping people. We miss the choir. We miss seeing everybody and even you, but at least in the neighborhood, we can at least wave to you.
Yeah.
So that's absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, our Care and Concern Committee, that was kind of initiated by, I think, Ginny Littlefield, maybe 15 years ago. And
Okay.
you just think of the hundreds of families that we've been able to help through a tough time.
Which is absolutely wonderful. And I mean, you know, it can happen anytime, and we do the best we can, and people are willing to help out and bring meals, or we call people, especially when we're not meeting each other. You know, at least, you know, we can call each other and check up on people and see how you know, just to say we're thinking about you and stuff like
Now,
that.
every once in a while, I will hear one of the people we're delivering a meal to say something like, "No more chicken."
Please, we can't do this.
No more mac and cheese.
And Stu, you're on the facility committee.
I am. I did that at the Presbyterian Church too. Since we lived across the street, I could be there when anything went wrong. I learned a lot. Fortunately, in our facility, there isn't much to do yet because it's so new. Nothing
Right.
seems to go wrong much.
This too shall pass, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure it will.
And I think you have 3 boys.
4.
4.
We actually have 4. I was going to bring that up, and we were just watching before you arrived your message yesterday with Diane Anthony and her grandchildren and stuff, and that was so cute to watch and
Have
so
you ever
much
seen
fun.
a bear baptism?
No.
I hadn't seen a bear baptism, which I thought was really wonderful. And the thing was, and I'm thinking of it as I'm going on, I'm going, yeah, this is really happy, but yes, we really miss our grandchildren.
So how many grandkids?
Oh,
We have
boy.
7.
Yes.
And 4 are older, and they're upset because we're not going to have Old Home Day
Oh.
because they've come out to Old Home Day, and that would be really special. And I mean, they understand it, of course, but you know, that's kind of scary. And then our youngest son, who lives still in Garden City, has 3 boys, and one turned 9 on the 4th of July, and we couldn't get down there. And Jake is coming up on his, and Brett is 6 months old, 8 months old.
Oh no, he's a year.
I'm sorry, he's
Yeah,
a year old, and
he's a year,
he's
something.
walking and stuff. And so when I watched it, I feel bad that we haven't gotten to see them. We talk to them all the time. we talk, and thank goodness for these phones. We can check with the guys and stuff like that, but we still haven't seen them. So I would love to see them. That would be absolutely great.
Yeah,
But one of these
FaceTime
days,
is no substitute for actually being there and holding them.
that's
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
absolutely. And they love coming up here and, going in the water and doing all that stuff, but there's no dining in restaurants and stuff like that.
So what's the story behind your beautiful house?
Well, we bought this place in 2003.
And Wendy, your brother has lived in Gilford for how long?
Since 2002.
Okay, so right before you.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
And prior to
before-
that, where was he living? Where was Hank living?
He was living on Long
He
Island.
was on Long
Oh,
Island.
okay.
Yeah.
And how did you guys pick Gilford?
We had vacationed in the Lakes area region for 40 plus years, so we knew the area.
My
around
parents
here.
used to come up here, and so we would come up and meet with them. And my brother went to Camp Tecumseh,
Oh,
which is on Winnipesaukee for years, and it's not open this summer either. And I went to a camp called Allegro over on Silver Lake, and it's no longer a camp. So when our camp used to be done, our parents would come up here, and then we would stay, at the hotel that they were at, and you got to know it too. So, we just loved it. It was just absolutely terrific up here. So,
So I happened to be out one day with Hank just driving around. We drove down Sprucewood, and I saw this house. I said, that's exactly the kind of house I would like to own. And sure enough, within 6 months, it came on the market. After we had looked at
we
several
hadn't
other
looked on the
houses around
inside.
the lake.
Yeah, right.
No, I hadn't seen the inside, but it was beautiful. But the room we're in now was originally a screened-in porch, about half the size of this, and it was not in good shape. It didn't have a foundation. It was sitting on rocks and stuff like that, and started to leak and whatnot. So we decided to take it down and
that's beautiful.
have it rebuilt. The stairs that are in here are new, because the only way we got upstairs, which was smaller than it is now, was through a circular
Circular
staircase.
metal staircase.
The
living room.
Littlefields have a stairway in their old house.
Do they?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And you couldn't get your furniture up, so when we moved, the moving truck had to come back, and there's a window over the garage, and they had to move the furniture in there
Yeah.
to get it in.
It was,
just, we laughed and laughed,
nothing.
haha. So, but we've added to this room to make
so we
it a
ended
little
up
bit
we
bigger.
ended up with a larger upstairs, and we put an addition on the back of our bedroom, because we had a very small bathroom and an almost non-existent closet. So we extended out the back and put in a nice bathroom and
Yeah.
a closet, and above that we ended up with a bedroom. So instead of a 2-bedroom house, we now have a 3-bedroom house.
So when the guys come up and stuff, it's wonderful. They can stay here.
Room
Yeah.
for people to
So
sit. And Peter Stewart designed it.
He does good work.
he does
He does
absolutely terrific.
fantastic
He was
stuff.
wonderful.
As Brenda mentioned, Brenda Stowe a couple days ago, he helped them do their house as well.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
I'm
it
sure
was
he's done
wonderful.
quite a few.
So during this time being quarantined and because we can't be at the church or whatever, yes, we do walk and see people. We finally decided that we had to work on the second bathroom. It needed some help because it didn't have a good floor in it. So we took the floor out, and we needed to get a new toilet and whatever. And we've been working quite a while on it. But before you leave, we can show you that it's now done.
Oh, good.
And it works.
Not on camera.
It's not on camera. No,
It's not
absolutely.
completely
I
finished.
won't make a deposit. But
No, you don't have to do that. So, but it's wonderful. We just love being
Yeah.
here and seeing everybody. And actually walking today, because I wanted to take a walk before you got here, I met somebody who lives here, and she just moved in. And she told me her name and told me who she was and whatever. And so we just keep on meeting people here too, as we do in the church. And
That's a great neighborhood.
By everything that you send us, daily with the different people and stuff, we're meeting more and more people, which is great.
Yeah, and everybody's taking down their trees.
Well, there's some people
Except
that are
us.
taking
No.
down. Yeah, we haven't
Now,
taken them down.
This place used to be a sand pit, I guess, and then the forest took over, And when the area was built in the 77, 78, the trees were not so terribly big, but now they're 60, 70, 80 feet tall.
Yeah.
Dangerous.
Yeah, they don't have real deep roots.
Yeah, it's very sandy soil. So a lot of people are having their trees taken down and whatnot. So it's opening it up somewhat.
Yep. Now, you mentioned the videos that we're sending out, and there's been lots of talk about tests and cognitive ability and all of that by various people. So we're actually, Taryn and I are working on a little exam. We're going to ask questions about all these videos. And, we're going to see who is cognitively sharp and, who needs some, to be added to the prayer line.
What videos are those?
That's fun.
Well, I have a meeting back at the church,
Okay.
and I appreciate your time, but I do want to check that bathroom out.
Oh, we want to show it to you.
Okay,
Absolutely.
my age.
Yeah, I know.
We're older,
Well.
Michael.
Hey, take care.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye, thank you.
Have a great week.